really looking for the players that are fighting for those last jobs to make their statement in the game within a version of a structure of the way that we play. So it is an important game for tonight for those guys. I'll get them lots of minutes and get a good look at them.
We saw what happened last game in this Battle of Florida rivalry. It's only the preseason, but are these games more meaningful when it's against your cross-state rival?
More meaningful. There's just more potential for them to escalate because we see each other so much, and we got really good players on both teams, and they both won, so there's a connection there. So as long as it's reasonable, it'll stay that way. Once it gets out of hand, it just gets out of hand fast. I think everybody had enough of it though last game, and I would have seen that enough times that a lot of times the next game there's really nothing to it because both teams kind of stood up for themselves and they both agree that this is the way it's going to go if it gets silly. So usually the puck just gets managed pretty well.
Cole Schwindt gets picked up off waivers. You talked about guys fighting for teams. Kind of takes a spot there. What are you expecting out of him, or what do you hope to see from him?
For me, it's just an introduction. The people in the organization here know him, know his personality, and have a good understanding. For me, it's a look at center ice, and I'll play him on a line that might perform together in game one. So I get to know him. That's it. When his name came up, it was pretty quick. They were very excited about the idea they could add a player. With Anton being out of the lineup, then we're kind of not sure where that would be. We've got, at that point, we would have 3 of our centermen for last year out of our lineup. Center depth was an area that we would have been looking at on the waivers at the end. So when that came up, that one was obvious for us.
Yeah, he's obviously was before your time.
Yeah.
He was a prospect then.
Yeah.
But now that he's here, but you haven't seen anything, he wasn't.
Well, I mean, I've seen him play enough. I think he played against us, and he played half the season last year, so I've seen him play. I have a pretty good idea. He and Kai's games are fairly similar in terms of how they approach it, so we think he can fit. He's a big man that can move.
Have you seen Mackey's game kind of evolve in the last year?
We got to get him into some hockey games, some NHL regular season games. He's stronger and faster in practice and in training camp easily than he was the 2 previous years. Also, there's the processing time gets quite a bit shorter on what we're running without the puck. Right? So that's a part of a player getting faster. He's got less time processing, more time moving, and then more confidence. He's not deferring in practice as much. He knows when he's supposed to shoot the puck. Everybody expects him to. He's not trying to find a more veteran player on the ice to give it to. So that all comes with experience and comfort. I am looking forward to see him at full tilt in a game.
How have you seen in the last 3 preseason the evolution of Uvis Bluesky from a guy that nobody really knew to wow, he's on the NHL roster to what he means today?
He probably is still unknown around the league, but he came in and played the year and started the playoffs. The first 2 playoff games we won, he was in our lineup. I would say the same about Uvis that I just said about Mackey, and that the processing time now is shorter. His conditioning, he's made huge strides in it. It was a negative for him at the start when he first got here, and he probably made the team on his compete. And now he's caught up to that, so he looks like a full-blown pro out in the ice, and we would have no problem putting him in the lineup.
Just as a hockey fan, that story of how he ended up here, or didn't even think about the NHL anymore, it was
right.
Just wasn't a dream, it was just gone, and now
right.
the guy's name's on the cup.
And it's a credit to the guys that found him. Those European scouts, they work hard, and their ability to find players that can play that we play the way we play. But even at that time, Uvis and I were kind of new together, coming in with how we wanted to play. It's a great, great story, and his personality is starting to come out more, so you get to hear a little bit more about him. Big smile on his face. He's a part of what we do. He's just not particularly well known around the league.
Coach, so often we talk about the depth of this team, but how significant has it been to have so many players who have position flexibility and versatility?
And even with that, and I agree, it's a real strength. We've had enough injuries over the years that we've been forced into moving players around enough that by the time we had gotten to the playoffs, we'd just seen it a bunch of times. We've never, A2 has come into the middle very briefly, though, in that time. So now we'll take a little longer look at him if that's a place that we've got to go, because it's not a 1 month injury that we're dealing here with the center iceman. So that will be a part of what this year's about learning. I would like to see where we think A2 would be at in the middle. If Lundell plays, I'll put him back on the wing, but we're going to look at that anytime we have a center out.
Goalie tonight, Coach?
Sergey plays.
Full game, right?
Ish.